little something like
Hello, Literates. I'm brittwriterly, and welcome back to Writer's Ambition. For those of you who've been hanging in since episode 1, use a real one. And for those of you who are just finding my humble channel, welcome. We hope you stay a while. So, can you believe it is that time again? It is the 3rd annual Shay's Kwanzaathon. Yay! I can't believe it's the holiday season, but here I am wearing a whole North Pole University shirt in December. Wow. Here we are. Anyway, so we're gonna just touch in real quick, you and I, about the prompts for this year's Kwanzaathon. I will be brief so that the prompts don't get lost in all of my very double banter, but I'll also put the prompts in the description, so have no fear. Okay, so as always for Kwanzaathon, you can participate via videos on YouTube every day of Kwanzaathon. You can participate on Instagram, you can participate on Twitter, on TikTok, wherever you want to. Make sure you just tag Shay and I. Shay socials are at 50SO Shay, and mine are brittwriterly. Shay is not on TikTok, but I am. So if you want to carry on over there, tag me. I'll share it with Shay. Okay, so the prompts for Kwanzaathon. The first day of Kwanzaa is Umoja, unity, and for that prompt it will be United for Change, a black book that changed your perspective on unity. And so I have a couple of like throwback books, but they're really good. I'm gonna go like earliest to latest. I'm gonna try at least. The most recent one is The Deep by River Solomon. This book is not a stranger to the booktube space, but this book really had me rethinking what community means. And if you have read this book, I would still encourage you to reread, or even just taking some time to reflect on how community functions in this book. If you haven't read it, I will give you a quick synopsis right now. Yetu holds the memories for her people. Her people, the Wajenru, descendants of pregnant African slave women thrown overboard by slave owners, live idyllic lives in the deep. Their past, too painful to be remembered regularly, is forgotten by everyone, save one. The memories, harrowing and wonderful, traumatic and terrible, are destroying Yetu. And so she flees to the surface, escaping her expectations and responsibilities, and discovers a world the Wajenru left behind long ago. Inspired by the hit song by Clipping, comprised of Daveed Diggs, William Hudson, and Jonathan Snipes, The Deep will resonate long after the last page is turned. Can confirm. And so it really asks you questions about how do you begin to think through collective trauma, multi-generational trauma? How do you support one another as a community, and how you decide to engage history? Because the rest of the Wajenru are like, they don't remember their past of enslavement, of captivity. They don't remember that. She does. Yetu does. Actually, I'm not sure. I think she uses she, her pronouns. Yetu does. And so for me, it begs the question of like, if I am doing a service for my community that hurts me, and my community is either unaware or uncaring, is that really an appropriate ethic of community? And I thought about that a lot through my reading of The Deep, particularly because this book is in my dissertation. So I think about the ethics of community with River Solomon a lot through this book, and I would definitely encourage you all to pick it up for the first time, or pick it up again if you have not already. So that's my first rec for Umoja. And it came out, just for the sake of telling you, 2019, I believe. Yeah, let's just say 2019. Yep, came out 2019. The next book, I should not have told y'all that I was going to like give these books to y'all in chronological order, because that doesn't really matter. But I've already dug myself into it, so now here we are together. Let's see. Yeah, by 2 years. The next book is Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo by Ntozake Shange from 1982. I love this book. Can I just read you all the first sentence of this book? Because that's how quickly I fell in love with this book. I think it is lovely. Oh, and there's a leaf in it from the first time that I read this book that will remain forever. It's pretty well preserved, actually. Anyway, where there is a woman, there is magic. I was like, absolutely. I'm gonna read the first paragraph because it's actually short, and that wasn't all. But the first sentence was like, absolutely, sure, yeah. Where there is a woman, there is magic. If there is a moon falling from her mouth, she is a woman who knows her magic, who can share or not share her powers. A woman with the moon falling from her mouth, roses between her legs, and tiaras of Spanish moss. This woman is a consort of the spirits. I really love this book. The community or the unity is there are sisters, and there are there are biological sisters, Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo, but each of these sisters then grow up and grow into their own communities with whom they learn, with whom they hurt, with whom they heal, with whom they live. And it's just really, really beautiful look at Black girl and womanhood, Black sisterly or sororal intimacy. I love this book. It's just so, it's not a light read, but reading it, I feel a lightness within me at just the casual, what's the word? Of just the casual grace that Shange ascribes to these women, of moonlight and magic, just the everyday things about Black womanhood and girlhood that she just raises to a level of grace, or recognizes for the level of grace they already have. I love this book. Definitely recommend. And then last but certainly not least, The Salt Eaters by Toni Cade Bambara. This is from 1980. So I didn't actually read the back of this, so I will read that for y'all real quick because I sort of just fangirled about it. Okay, Ntozake Shange's beloved Sassafras, Cypress, and Indigo is the story of three sisters and their mother from Charleston, South Carolina. Sassafras, the oldest, is a poet and a weaver like her mother before her. Having gone north to college, she is now living in Los Angeles with other artists and trying to fashion a life for herself out of her work, her man, her memories, and her dreams. Cypress, the dancer, leaves home to discover new ways of moving in the world. Indigo, the youngest, is still a child of Charleston, too much of the South in her, who lives in poetry and has the supreme gift of seeing the obvious magic in the world. A rich and wondrous story of womanhood, art, and passion. A rich and wondrous story of womanhood, art, and passionately lived lives is written with such exquisite care and beauty that anybody can relate to her message. And that's a blurb from the New York Times. Okay, The Salt Eaters by Toni Cade Bambara from 1980, set in Claiborne, a town somewhere in the South. The Salt Eaters is the story of a community of Black people searching for the healing properties of salt, who witness an event that will change their lives forever. Some of them are centered, some are off balance, some are frightened, and some are daring. From the men who live off welfare women to the mud mothers who carry their children in their hides, the novel brilliantly explores the narcissistic aspect of despair and the tremendous responsibility that comes with physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. I love this book. It's beautiful. It is beautifully written. It is beautifully insightful. I love this book. And the unity comes with, is her name Vera? I feel like her name is Vera, the protagonist of this book, we meet her in a hospital. And one of the community healing women is coming to her, trying to help her be well, Velma. So the first line of this book, which I obsessed over for a while, "Are you sure, sweetheart, that you want to be well?" And Minnie Ransom, who is the fabled healer of the district, she is the one who asks that to Velma Henry. So Velma Henry is our brave protagonist. She is in a hospital. They tap dance around why she's there for a while. Find out why she is there and why Minnie Ransom is with her there, asking her if she is ready and willing to be well. But the book is so good. I think that question is a really good representation of the sort of questions that book asks and helps you as the reader sort of ask of yourself through Velma Henry by proxy. But it's so good. That Cool. I love The Salt Eater, so I would definitely encourage you to read it, especially if you find yourself reading a lot of new releases. Take this Kwanzaathon as a opportunity to read some older joints, because they hit. Okay, so that's Umoja. The rest will go super quickly. So day 2 is Kujichagulia, self-determination, and that is a year in review, reflection on 2022 goals. Again, this can be on any platform. And through any medium. You can do a picture to reflect, you can do a video, you can do an Instagram post, a Twitter post, whatever. The third day is Ujima, collective work and responsibility. The theme of that is We All We Got, show appreciation to your favorite Black collaborations. The fourth day is Ujama, cooperative economics. Wisdom is currency. Share 1 to 3 things you think every Black person should know about career and personal growth. So you don't have to be Black to participate in that prompt, but you need to be talking to Black people. 1 to 3 things you think every Black person should know about career and personal growth. Day 5 is Nia, purpose. Why am I here? A Black book that embodies purpose. For this, I think autobiographies would be a really great way to speak to this prompt, and so I'm going to offer you 3 that have been very well spoken of. The first one is Will by Will Smith and Mark Manson. This is not ranked in any particular order. The second is Just As I Am by Cicely Tyson and Michelle Burford. I have not heard a person speak ill of that book yet. I have heard that it is magical and amazing and empowering, all the things. And I've also heard those things about Finding Me by Viola Davis. So if you're looking for some books that embody purpose, I would definitely say autobiographies are the way to go. And I would also just add to that one that I mention practically every time that I make a readathon list, which is A Taste of Power by Elaine Brown. She was the first and only Black woman to ever lead the Black Panther Party. And I just love that line of hers where she's up there, her first time in that role, and she's like, I have all the money, I have all the guns, I have all the power, I can withstand conflict from without and within. Isn't that right, comrade? And I mangled that quote, but that's essentially what she says, and it speaks to her cognizance of external pushback and conflict for the Black Panther Party, but it also speaks of internal conflict that she is aware of and anticipating for this male-dominated party to be now led by a woman. And so I think that gets into purpose as well, because when you're in a group with such strong political agendas and such strong social scripts of who can do what and how it's going to go, you really have to walk in your purpose to not be overwhelmed. And so if you have not heard of Elaine Brown, if you have not really done any reading about the Black Panther Party, I definitely suggest A Taste of Power to you also. Okay, day 6, Kumba, creativity. Rep your artistry. Highlight 3 lesser known Black artists in any industry. So you can talk about performance artists, playwrights, novelists, poets, weavers, like your favorite Etsy shops, whatever. 3 lesser known Black artists in any industry. Then the 7th and final day is Imani, faith, creating for the future. Make a vision board for 2023. That's what we always do on day 7. So those are them. Those are the prompts for Cachet's Kwanzaathon 2022. We hope to see a lot of participation. Please tag us in all of the videos. We love to see how y'all answer the prompts, and we are looking forward to seeing just that. So y'all have an amazing day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.